All right. Good evening and good morning, Unicorn fam. Welcome to the Crypto Unicorns post-launch AMA number 3 with Aron Beierschmitt, Crypto Unicorns CEO and co-founder. I'm Sparkly Unicorn with my co-hosts, Fluffy Unicorn, and Vitty Unicorn. This is the post-launch AMA number 3, where you can ask your questions regarding the Crypto Unicorns game launch. Now that the vast majority of issues have been resolved and we have finally had a moment to breathe, take stock, and plan, we're going to let you know about the details of it. Of course, we're going to still continue to take on and handle edge cases as long as you submit a Zendesk ticket for them on lagunagames.zendesk.com. Again, that's lagunagames.zendesk.com. Let's start this off with Aron time. Good morning, Aron.
Good evening, Sparkly. Thank you. I guess I'll just quick summary of the launch postmortem if people have not read the blog post that I wrote yet. As Sparkly mentioned, we've now resolved 90% of the Zendesk tickets that have been submitted over the last couple of weeks. What that means is the remaining 10% didn't get caught in batch jobs. It means whatever issue you're experiencing is an edge case that isn't in the majority. And so we're at the unfortunate part where we've got to both balance continuing to fix issues one by one with continuing with ongoing feature work and the roadmap. And it's unfortunate that most of these fixes fall on our server team. So that's the trade-off there. And as I mentioned in the blog post, going forward, we're carving out time each day for live ops issues. And we're trying to prioritize those based on how long a player has had that issue. I recognize that this affects people who've been very loyal and supportive of the project, and so this isn't something that we take lightly. But I hope people understand that there are trade-offs that we have to make here, and we focus on resolving issues affecting the majority first, and then we begin to dig through the long tail. As of yesterday, really as of Monday, with the fix to land, unlock, and building placement issues, we have started to kind of chug through the long tail of tickets and issues. The upcoming release plan is pretty simple. Tomorrow we have a quality of life kind of polish and bug fix build, which will just be a quick client release, no downtime expected. Evolution launches May 26th. That's just giving us plenty of time to QA. Like I said, we're not very interested in having a rough evolution launch, especially compared to what we just went through. So taking the time to make sure that that is ready to roll when it goes out is very important. I hope the community next week sees that and recognizes the commitment to quality. After that, we're looking at the Shadowcorn Hatch event on June 23rd. We'll start to tease more and more about that in the lead up to it. I'm very, very excited to start to show some of the incredible concepts for Shadowcorns. I'm very, very pumped, especially when you think about the fact that, yeah, there's 3 tiers, but all of these tiers haven't been ascended yet. It's going to be pretty cool. And then our next feature release is June 30th. This is a flip back towards what I would consider to be a normal non-crunch, non-hair on fire release cadence for a game development team. It's not to say that we won't push over-the-air server updates in between that time, but the first, or I should say the next major feature release is June 30th. The 2 primary features are loot boxes, land vending machines, a bunch of tech debt and hardening that doesn't necessarily matter to the user experience, but will improve things like retry logic, the blockchain flows, which we've already seen improve nicely, especially from where we were on launch day. And then a whole mess of quality of life polish and improvements, including things, for example, like that unicorn HUD that we've been talking about in prior AMAs, where you'll be able to immediately see all the unicorns that have been assigned, the timers that remain, and click on them to immediately zoom to where they happen to be. You'll also be able to see if they're idle. It'll make checking for poop a little bit easier. So things like that, things like putting kind of timers on the buildings so it's more clear. You don't have to click all the way through to see how long a timer still has. We're experimenting with a progress bar that I'm not super happy with because it looks ugly on top of all of our pretty stuff. But again, it'll be a lot of things like that. So this is it looks like a short list of 4 bullet points, but it's still a pretty big feature release. Sweet. Roadmap. We had a great planning session 3 days last week. Of course, two of those days were basically live ops fires all day, so we didn't get as much done as I would have wanted. A lot of that planning continues this week. I think we're actively looking at ways to lean into the shadow corn versus unicorn kind of conflict, and I think adjust the roadmap accordingly. I think we have a lot of ideas that weren't around when we um, prior to the release of Shadowcorns, right? And so there's a lot of really compelling, I think, things that we can do that pits that conflict kind of at the center of our game. That's going to lead to really fun, interesting gameplay and systems. And so that's something that people can kind of expect in that shift. And I believe that there are a few surprises in order as well, which is kind of our goal. And then lastly, unicorn swap. There's been what I would say some pushback on this. I think my TLDR on it is I believe it is the quickest way to get a custom marketplace done. I've not seen another group propose a true custom marketplace. I get the hesitation relative to some of the issues the Moonstream we've had with the Moonstream team before. But again, it's a team that I trust, that we work with very closely. And I do think it's the best path forward. Ultimately, we're not going to vote on it, neither the team or the investors. So it's up to y'all. If you really don't want it, that's fine. Yesterday, we checked into our development environment, the upgrades to our Watcher service, which will update metadata on airlock in and out. That could go live as soon as today. It will absolutely be live by the end of this week. And we can kind of look. Maybe that starts to solve things. It should really solve the on-ramp challenge, which is I can't find something to buy. It'll be like, well, filter for unlocked, and there you go. It will not solve the issue of people listing below the floor, right? Custom marketplace gives us more flexibility on that front. I have a lot of really fun ideas on adding RBW bonuses and things to the marketplace. And again, I would be leading product on the marketplace. The Moonstream team would be doing the development work. So again, I think it's the best option. If the community disagrees and that shows in the vote, that shows in the vote. The last comment I'll make is that obviously we put it in the ideas category because it was just an idea. The draft proposal will have a lot more language around the specific requirements on the Moonstream team, the fact that we would be putting in place a service level agreement. And again, the key point for me is 1% fee to align incentives, I think is irrelevant when OpenSea charges us 2.5%, Rarible wants 1% for a white label, basically just an OpenSea. It would have the same problems we deal with today. I am against rent seeking, and I am against the idea that like if Moonstream failed to continually deliver new features and things, like we're not permanently going to give anyone something like that. But again, if you're interested in that discussion, there's been a lot of back and forth in the forum, and I would encourage you to kind of check that out. Be on the lookout for a draft proposal again. If sentiment is positive enough, we'll put it to snapshot, and it's ultimately in the hands of the SRBW holders, as again, the team is not going to vote on that. We may find the fixes on the OpenSea front are enough of a band-aid. I think no matter what, we want to move to a custom marketplace. I do not want to put that work on the Laguna team. We have enough work ahead and an incredibly aggressive roadmap that we're already behind on. So if the solution is another group building that custom marketplace for us, I'm all ears, but I've seen very few surface that. I'm less and less interested in going with another marketplace because OpenSea is the eBay. They have the aggregation there, right? So it seems a little silly to go and use one of the competitors, especially when we're a top project on the network that we're on. So those are my comments on that front. I'm anxious to hear from everyone. Let's roll into Q&A.
All right, thank you so much, Aaron. Just a quick note for everybody who's thinking to ask questions related to game issues. The friendly team over at the Mod Support channel can assist you too. As much as possible, let's make the most out of this time by asking questions that only Aaron can answer. But nothing's stopping you from asking any specific question. For issues regarding the Blacklist, the Founders Reward Program, and the Pioneer Program event, send us a ticket at lagunagames.zendesk.com. Our hardworking devs have some time to check tickets about these issues today, so it's best to get your tickets about those topics sent in really early. I'll just mention the AMA mechanics really quickly, and then we can start. If you want to ask a question, please press the Request to Speak button. The button looks like a raised hand. You can queue up even while somebody's talking. We do have a few queued up right now. Once we accept your request, you'll see a green bar at the top of your Discord. Click Accept to begin speaking. We will be picking people one by one so everyone has a chance to ask something. Once you're unmuted, feel free to ask your question. We also have questions from shy and busy unicorns. It's on the AMA Questions channel. We will get to those too, but we'll prioritize spoken questions over written ones. We'll do our best to answer all of the AMA questions, but if you'd like to bring your written question to the front of the line, just press Request to Speak and ask away. And even if it's not your question, you can pick up an interesting question at the AMA Questions channel and ask it yourself. All right, let's start off with Mama Psycho. Hey, Mama Psycho, come on over.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning.
Alrighty. First question, please. Is there a chance that regular baby unicorns can evolve into mythics without evolution boosters?
No, if it's not born as a mythic, it cannot evolve into a mythic.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Next question. Would you consider allowing Founders Badge holders to beta test on Live Network? Most importantly, for delegation contracts to go smoothly. That's for Al.
Beta testing on production would be kind of insane. We would have to, deploy. Oh, I understand what you're asking. We
Yeah,
are considering allowing, yes, Founders Badge participants kind of early access to things, but it's also rather hard if we deploy something to mainnet to block other people unless we're blocking in the client, specifically allowing certain addresses. And so there's like work associated with that. So absolutely in the future, but I don't know when.
just one last one.
Mhm.
Flying Shadowcorns. I'm calling it now. What are your thoughts?
um, hmm. Shadowcorns can do many, many things, and I'll leave it at that.
No, thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you, Mama Psycho. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
so much, everybody's favorite mama. Let me just get an add in real quickly before we get the next person. We need you. Yes, you. We need you to report bad actors who list locked crypto unicorns assets in OpenSea. You'll know it's locked if it's on sale, but you can't buy it. Head over to our Zendesk at lagunagames.zendesk.com and file a report. Pat yourself on the back for contributing to the community and experience the schadenfreude of knowing that evildoers are excluded from any and all rewards and drops. We conduct an internal investigation for every reported case, so rest assured that you are in good hands. Thanks for doing your part, Unicorn Fam. Next up, we have Insanity. Come on over.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning and good evening. I've got a couple of questions for around breeding and evolution. So I'll just blurt it out right now. So first off, for breeding. So right now, it's kind of it. It's a bit of a tedious step to breed unicorns. I was wondering if there are like any plans to make things like more efficient, like less transactions, quicker times. Um, I'd like to know like what the plans of that would be, if there are any. And then for evolution, Since it's coming out, I think next week or the 26th, could you give us some like progress on the development side for Evolution right now, on like what the state of it is right now, and what